Autoline Daily is brought to you by Borg Warner, feel good about driving. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. And by Dow Automotive Systems, improving durability and increasing design flexibility with Betamate structural adhesives at dowbetamate.com.
Thanks for joining us on Autoline Daily today. Well, China just smashed all the automotive sales records, becoming the first country in the world to sell over 20 million vehicles in a year. Ward's Auto reports that sales were up almost 14% in 2013, hitting a record of nearly 21.9 million vehicles. That includes cars, SUVs, and commercial vehicles. If you strip out commercial trucks and only count light vehicles, which is how they're largely counted in the US or Europe, sales came to 17.9 million. Interestingly, if you count NAFTA as a single market, it's still slightly larger than the Chinese market. The Chrysler brand got a lot of good publicity with the introduction of the new 200 last week. But did you realize the brand only has 3 vehicles in its lineup? The 200, the 300, and the Town & Country. Al Gardner, the new CEO of the Chrysler brand, who's only been on the job for 3 months, says that that's going to change. And I'm quoting here, "We're working on the new 200, he says. We're working on the new Town & Country, but we recognize that to be relevant in the marketplace, we need more than the 3 products we have today." Well, we ask him, how about a crossover for the Chrysler brand? "We're absolutely looking at something like that," he tells Autoline. While we do not know anything yet about that new crossover, we do know it'll feature a grille similar to the new 200. Gardner says you're going to see that on a lot of products coming up. Cadillac will offer 7 different models in the US market this year, which is half the number that both BMW and Mercedes have in their lineups. But Bob Ferguson, the senior vice president of Global Cadillac, says that more models are on the way. And I quote, "If we were like the Germans and named our cars by 1s, 2s, and 3s, I think we'd run out of single digits," he tells Autoline. Cadillac's new cars are bringing in new buyers. Ferguson says those buying an ATS, 70% of them did not own a Cadillac before. And of those conquest buyers, they're about 10 years younger. And that bodes very well for the brand. Sales of electric cars and plug-ins have been making enormous percentage gains for a number of years, but last year we saw some plug-in hybrids see their sales go down. There were 5 plug-in hybrids sold in the US market last year: the Chevy Volt, Toyota Prius, Ford C-Max and Fusion, and the Honda Accord. Those sales hit 49,000 cars, up 27%, but that increase came from Ford and Honda. Sales of the Volt and Prius plug-in actually went down. That suggests this segment could be hitting a plateau and that the new entries are starting to slice the pie more finely rather than make the pie big enough for everyone to grow. But the Cadillac ELR, Porsche Panamera, and BMW i8 are about to join the segment, and that could bring in a new group of luxury buyers. Ford is betting that its new F-150 with aluminum body panels will not deter buyers, but few repair shops are certified to work with the metal, and Ford expects a 10% increase in insurance costs. However, Ford believes buyers will accept that because of increases in fuel economy, towing, and payload. Doug Scott, Ford's truck marketing manager, also adds that insurance companies currently charge less for the outgoing F-150 than the competition, so he thinks it's a bit of a wash. The shale revolution is generating a lot of interest in using natural gas to power vehicles. Coming up next, we'll show you how one giant German automotive supplier is getting ready for the revolution.
Dow Automotive Systems, driving solutions in automotive, commercial transportation, and aftermarket with innovative products like Betamate structural adhesives. Lighter, stronger, safer. dowbetamate.com.
Every 2 years, the Robert Bosch Company opens up its doors to the media to come on in and look at all the technology that it's working on. Some of that technology is right around the corner, some of it is decades down the road, but here is one of those technologies.
Our view of future of CNG is that CNG will grow. So CNG systems will be successful in the market because of the CO2 reduction with CNG. Using same technology, CNG reduces CO2 reduction by 25%. So this is a big advantage, and the mileage you drive for the same dollar is significant higher. So this is an advantage of CNG. So CNG will have a place in the market. It will not replace every other system, but it will have definitely have his place in the market.
Excellent. In the U.S., there is much more interest in CNG on the commercial truck side rather than passenger cars, because you don't need as big of an infrastructure. How do you think CNG will develop in Europe?
The development of CNG in Europe is depending on the infrastructure. There is already an infrastructure for CNG available, but it's not as convenient as for gasoline or diesel. And this somehow is a restriction for the development of CNG. As soon as this infrastructure will develop, CNG systems will have greater success in the market.
And between commercial vehicles and passenger vehicles, do you see a difference in that development in Europe?
For commercial vehicles, the CNG infrastructure is much more easier to build, because commercial vehicles drive longer distances, so you need less infrastructure to refuel and so on. So for commercial vehicles, this chance of CNG to be more successful is higher.
Many experts believe that commercial truck fleets, especially in the North American market, are a perfect application for natural gas. I think we're going to hear a lot more about this throughout the year. Watch for this to become a recurring theme in our reporting. And with that, we wrap up today's report. Thank you for watching.